Welcome to Most Unwanted, an X-Files podcast. This week we're doing things a little differently. As we said last week, we're on the first episode of our post-season 1 content, and we'll be looking at our season review and the viewers' season reviews as well. I'm Chex, and I'm joined, as always, by Luke.
I tried to stay as quiet as I could then, so I didn't ruin your intro. I was going to say, yeah, and agree, but...
Yeah, we've got to change the intro up just a touch. All getting ready for season 2. So these next sort of 3-4 weeks are just all about looking back at what was a really good season of X-Files, but also looking forward to season 2.
You have to save your review till later, Chex.
Yep, that's a very good point. I think the way we're going to do it this week is we're going to jump straight into it, and we're going to talk about the reviews that people have sent in to us, just to we'll take a sample of those, read a few of them out, give our opinions on them, and then we'll save our reviews till the end. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So do you want to start us off with an email?
Yeah, I can do. So this one is from Jesse. It says, "Hi Luke and Chex, what an end to the first season! Exclamation mark. So there's a lot of emphasis on this one.
Enthusiasm, I like it.
Yeah. Haven't watched, and this is in brackets, haven't watched X-Files before, by the way. This was an unexpected ending for me. Throughout the season, there was always an element of, is this really happening or is it not? For the characters anyway, not the viewer. And then to finish up with concrete evidence, wowzers, where do they go from here? I'd get on the NASA program immediately. Really enjoyed the season on the whole. Some slower episodes where I can see why they aren't so popular, but a great break into the opening season. I can see why it has such a cult following. Can't wait to watch the rest along with you." Yeah, that was from Jesse.
Great use of the word wowzers there, yeah, I will say. But yeah, I couldn't agree more, to be honest. There was slower episodes in there that was a little bit more difficult viewing, but I think it all helps towards, especially with a long-running season like this, it all helps towards building those characters.
I think if it was all like highs of like all action-packed, you would be a bit overwhelmed, I think, like especially if it's such a long series.
That's the thing, because there are series that can do that, and especially the more modern ones, but they tend to be 10 episodes.
Exactly, you can handle it with that. So.
Yeah, you can't do it for that long with this.
24 episodes that are all go, would just...
Well, you think of like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad equates to 2 seasons. The entirety of it equates to 2 seasons of the X-Files.
Yeah.
So you just couldn't keep that pace up. And I think it works for this show, I really do.
Yeah.
We'll get to the next email now. This email is from Amy. She says, "Hi both, first time emailer, long time watcher. Just wanted to let you know how much I've enjoyed this first season of Most Unwanted. Thank you very much. I love all the banter and jokes, and it really keeps the podcast grounded. You say what everyone is thinking and aren't afraid to point out inconsistencies in poorer aspects of the earlier show. Hope you enjoy all of the seasons of the X-Files to come. You're in for a treat. Best wishes, Amy."
Yeah, perfect. Also, thank you for not spoiling anything.
Yeah, we are worried. We was a little bit worried when we asked people to email in about spoilers and whatnot. But we've not had any, so that's always good.
So far, so good. Until we get to our predictions eventually. We'll see anyway.
But yeah, we're really glad that you're enjoying the show, and that's the main thing. That's what we're doing it for. And it's also good to hear, again, we've said it before in previous episodes, but it's good to hear people who have watched the show already and already seen all episodes of the X-Files, and they're enjoying it, and they're coming back and watching it with us, which is it's a nice dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. We also had a tweet as well from Chris, and he says this isn't a review of the episode, but we did think it was good to keep this in, as you know, any correspondence we get, it's always better to just pop it into the most recent show.
Yeah, definitely.
He says, "Hey guys, I'm a little off the pace and a few episodes behind. Just wanted to say congrats on passing 1,000 downloads a while back. Great milestone. Keep up the great work. And we had a bit of a back and forth conversation. He mentioned that he wouldn't mind being a guest on the show. So,
oh, fantastic!
So hopefully we can set that up in the future. He did mention that one of his favourite episodes was something from season 4 called Home, which I have heard of. Because did I ever mention to you the one where it was like never rebroadcast?
You might have mentioned it in passing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And I remember before we started getting into this the show, I started having a look and like some stuff, and I remember reading about this one. I tried to stay away from plot details and stuff, but this one was it was never syndicated, so it was only ever shown the once on TV because it was that graphic.
Oh wow!
So
okay,
so it'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for that. Season 4. Did you say? That
was season 4. So hopefully we can get him on a bit sooner than that. But
yeah, we'd love to have you on. And thank you for the congratulations. I still can't believe we got to 1,000 downloads. So that's an insane.
Still
insane
climbing as well. Every time I check it, I'm like, what?
People just enjoying what we do, and it's so good that people are enjoying it and sticking with us. And we want everyone to sort of share it and tell everyone that they know likes X-Files about it. Maybe if they don't, because we have had people who got into X-Files through our show, which is great. We'll do one more email before we get into our reviews. Try and keep this sort of nice and short. This one's from Gemma, and she's put, "Hi guys, congratulations on completing your first season of the podcast. It's been funny and insightful. Keep up the good work." She's put, "I'm not sure if I mentioned in my last email that this is also my first watch of the X-Files, so it's nice to have someone to watch along with. I wanted to let you know my favourite episodes of this season are Ice and Eve. You can tell I lean more towards a science episode than mythological, should I say, or paranormal. I thought they were the most gripping and the most relatable to today's society. Can't wait for more episodes like these in the seasons to come. I have to admit, though, as much as I've enjoyed the storylines, the mystery and relationship development, I do struggle with the 90s vibe the show has. Not that it's a bad thing, I'm just so used to modern television now it's hard to alternate. I had the same issue watching the earlier seasons of Buffy in recent years. I'm sure people will say the same about current TV shows in 30 years' time, though. Yeah. Looking forward to the next seasons. I'm interested to see if the dynamic and format of the show remains over the years, and in turn how this affects your show. Don't take too long of a break. Thanks, Gemma."
Yeah. I mean, that perfectly leads on to our next episode as well with the top episodes.
So Gem's is Ice and Eve, which are two great picks. I mean, I think Ice is unanimously up there with everybody. Yeah. Eve's an interesting pick because I really enjoyed Eve.
I enjoyed Eve actually as well.
That was there with a lot of twists and turns to that one, so it might make it into my top 5.
And it doesn't seem to like be highly like lauded as a great episode. So
yeah, it's not. It's never up there on like the lists that I see. But
it's interesting though with that because it means that there's still a lot more good episodes to come. So yeah. If we thought this was good and it's not even in the upper echelons, then what's C2 got in store basically?
Exactly, and it's going to be interesting to find out. Yeah. And I'm just going back to the email. What do you think about her comments about the 90s vibe and like this was going back to an older TV show? Yeah, do you struggle with that at all? Or?
It is jarring sometimes, like especially because I think X-Files does it a bit better than the early Buffy. Like this, we'll go into our season review in a bit. But the first season of X-Files, I think, is a bit more altogether than, as you mentioned, Buffy. Have you ever watched the first season of Buffy?
I've not watched Buffy. It's one of those things I need to get around to.
It's really jarring. There's like the sprinklings of good episodes, but there's a lot of like stuff that if you were doing that like trimming the fat to get through the series, there's a lot you can cut from the first series. Whereas I think this first season of X-Files has got a lot of like crucial episodes and good episodes that you can't really cut out. So but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like that. It is a bit of a slower paced show.
I think the most jarring aspect for me. I mean, I've sort of got over it now, but I think the most jarring aspect for me is the difference in budget to modern television. Yeah. Because like some of the effects and stuff like that, even though they're really good for the time, they're not anything that you can see now. Like they're a sprinkling of what you can see now in TV shows, and so that can throw you out of it a little bit. But again, I think the way you work around that is having that good core relationship and the good character development. I think that you can it doesn't matter. Everything else doesn't matter. If you've got that, and X-Files does, which is kind of what just keeps me interested in it. But yeah, all good points, and thank you very much for the email. Should we get into our season review?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well just quickly recap what we thought of the series.
Yeah, I'll let you start off.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned a few points. Just I think for a first series, X-Files is up there for some of the better TV series that I've ever seen, because it really does hit you with a lot of crucial story episodes and just good, well-acted episodes. Like, there's, I'd say, over half of the series, and bear in mind there's 24 episodes. Yeah. Over half of the series, I would say, are really good TV episodes. Yeah. And I look back at stuff like, I'm trying to think of like other TV shows that like people say have got a strong first series. Yeah. And look at like Walking Dead. Like, everyone always says the first series of that is really strong, but it sort of struggles like after the first 2 episodes, I think. Like,
that's only a 6 episodes.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, that's 6 episodes, and there's some towards the end that falter. But this, like, for how long it is, has still got a lot of home runs in there. Like, it's a really strong first series, and it's made me really want to like carry on to the next. And I mean, I do hear with the X-Files that, you know, the quality does go up and down as time goes on. As
you'd expect,
anything that's run for 11 series is going to be. But as for a first series, I couldn't fault this at all. Like, there's a few duds here and there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Space. But even with that, like, we found a way. I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about, like, they review a TV show, and they said they prefer to get bad episodes because it's funny to just rip on them. So I think the way that we're watching this and like going through it, it is sometimes it's good to have either an astonishing episode or a terrible one. We get the best out of both of them
because we enjoy it talking about it later. So
it's the ones in the middle, like Lazarus or something like that, where it's like. It was okay. They're the worst ones to review, but there weren't many in this series. So I'd say overall a really, really strong first series of any TV show, and it's good that we've picked this as the TV show to review.
Definitely.
So.
No,
how about yourself?
Basically, just echoing most of your points. To be honest, I completely agree. Really strong season. Really enjoyed it. In particular, I really enjoyed the sort of diversity of all the episodes. So you did have like the shocking and the exciting episodes, but you also had the comedy, and it wasn't always sort of rammed down your throat. There was episodes where you could just enjoy that relationship between the two characters. And like I always go back to, and I know it's not a popular episode, but I always go back to Jersey Devil and how much we enjoyed that episode. Yeah. Whether it's because we was talking about it afterwards and we got to take the mick out of it a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't matter. We still enjoyed it, and that's the whole point of it. So, I thought it was a very strong first season, and I, as you said, can't wait for the next couple of seasons. We decided to have this break to sort of work on the next season and sort of figure out, and we wanted to do all this post-season stuff too, and really sort of finish season 1 off in style. But my God, I can't wait to get to the next season now. Yeah. So I just want, if it was up to me, I'd start recording tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? But I can't
it is up to you. It's your podcast. Well, it's our podcast. It's essentially yours.
It is my podcast, let's be honest. But yeah, loved it, and I think looking at the emails that we received, everyone feels the same way. The people we've been talking to along the way in this first series, everyone's pretty much said that they've got a fond place in their heart for season 1 of X-Files.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what it has to offer in the next season.
Yeah. So I mean. You know, when we left off season 1, it was the X-Files are broken up, so we get to see now what's happening. How are they going to come back together if they do? Or
so many questions. They're definitely
they're going to come back together. They have to. But it's sort of figuring out how and why. So
there's a lot of interesting questions to answer.
Yeah. So,
but so I think that's pretty much our season review episode. A little bit shorter ones, these next sort of, this one and the next couple of post-season ones. Just a little, basically just closing the season up, like I said earlier. Next week we've got our favourite episodes. So me and Luke are going to get together our top 5 episodes, and we're going to discuss them and see if there's any similarities, any differences.
Crucially, we're not going to show or tell each other what our lists are, so it could be quite interesting.
It's going to spark a bit of conversation, and it's going to be good to see whether we do have any similarities. I've got a feeling we will, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes when we get there.
Yeah, we need to dissent more in our opinions.
Hopefully season 2 will have a little bit more contrast.
I hated it.
So, for this episode though, I've been Chex.
And I've been Luke.
And we'll see you next week.